Hey there gamers, welcome back to the Board Game Co channel, and today we have a playthrough of Nexus. Hey there gamers, it's Professor Meg here, and welcome back to the Board Game Co channel. Today we have a solo playthrough of Nexus by Redzen Games. Now this is currently a prototype copy in front of me. This is a sponsored playthrough, and this is a crowdfunding campaign, so you can check out the link down below. And this is already a fully funded campaign, and the pledge manager just opened, so it is fully funded and successful, and you are able to get in on the game if you are now interested. And I'm going to show you what the solo mode looks like. Now normally in Nexus it's going to be a 1v1 game where you have a whole bunch of different factions that you're able to choose from, and each of those factions is going to contribute 15 cards to your deck. You're going to draft, choose to put them together, take those two decks, shuffle them all together, and that's going to be your deck for that current game. Now normally you're able to draft these and that will help you with who's going to be going first, but in the solo mode there are currently 4 decks that I'm able to play with. I have 2 of them combined together. We are going to be fighting off against them, and we are going to be playing, as you may have seen, as the Celestials as well as the Wizards. So we already have the solo deck set up. I'm going to have us jump right into it, and at the beginning of the game when you draw 5 cards you are able to mulligan. So I did have us do that, but besides that I haven't moved us too far ahead. So with that I will show you what the solo mode is going to look like. So over here is the solo deck that we are fighting off against, and it's going to be made up of Ratmen and Goblins, which is not good for us, but they currently have a hand of 5 cards, and they are going to work with their hand, but we're not able to see what that is. Now they also have 40 for their Nexus, and we are trying to damage that as well as any units that come out. And here you can see this is our hand of 5 cards, which I'm just going to play open for you to be able to see as well, because there's no secrets here anymore, because our full strategy is just going to be against this deck here. And then this is going to be our deck, and we have 30. So as you can see, we have 30 where they have 40, so they're a little bit stronger than us. And with that we are going to start off. Now they are always considered the starting player, and the starting player will go first. So going first, you're actually not going to draw a card on the first turn, which is a small advantage for us, but we should not take that for granted. So they are now going to play their top card. Now when doing so, they're going to be able to play their card, and then there is a certain symbol that looks just like this that's going to be in the center of these cards, that if it did have that symbol they would be able to play an additional card as well. So they did play this shaman here, which is going to be a support character for them, and they are able to activate to restore 1 health. While this card is in play, when a mob attacks, do not destroy any human unit in that mob. So that's really, really dangerous for us, because mobs are going to have a bunch of units within it. But luckily for us, this is already out, so we're going to be able to attack this. So this is going to happen. They would have this ability to restore, but they are already at full health. So with that, we're going to now move over to our turn. So we are first going to draw a card, and as I said, we do have those cards that allow us to play an additional card. So we actually have some of those in our hand. We're going to have 1 here, and I believe, yes, that is all that we're going to have. So with our Wizards, we're going to be doing damage, and we're also going to be able to be drawing, but with our Celestials, we're actually going to have this Purify mechanic, where we are going to be purifying, and that's going to allow us to do certain things as well. So taking a look here at everything we have, this is going to allow us to play another card. So we're going to do this one first and foremost. We will play her, our Aeromancer. And the action for this, which is your summoning action, is you may exhaust 1 unit in play. So we are able to exhaust this, but that doesn't really matter for us right now, because we are definitely going to want to attack it. So we're able to exhaust it, and then after that we can play an additional card. Now we want to be able to do that damage, so to be able to do so, we're going to need to be able to play one of these 2. So we have our Radiant Avenger, and we will put them into play as well. And they have Purified, which is an ability that would trigger when they are purified, but instead, because we are playing it from our hand, we're going to activate this, which is Purify 1. So we'll show you what that looks like now. Now Purify is going to be taking the top card of your deck and putting it into your discard pile, but if this card had a Purify ability, which it does, you're going to be able to use that ability. So this one is Purified, destroy 1 opponent's unit in play. So that's great for us, because we're going to be able to just destroy this shaman without having to attack it. And then that is that, because this is going to stay here in our graveyard. So anything else here would be able to activate if it was played over here into our play area, but this is a really unique mechanic where it's going to stay over here in our graveyard. Now, after that, we are going to be able to attack, and we are attacking with this one unit. Now, it was great for us that this was taken out earlier, because when you're attacking, you actually lose your unit after that. So there are going to be some abilities that may allow you to bypass that, but typically you're actually going to have to lose that unit, whereas this one will stay in play for us as a shield. So this one is going to deal 3 damage. They're currently at 40, so we are going to put them down to 30 and then 7 over here. So that's how we will be tracking that. And now this one is going to go over to our graveyard over here. So we're a little bit ahead, but they have more health than us regardless anyway right now, so it is a bit scary. So now we will go on to the other player's turn, the solo mode, and we will draw a card, and that's going to go to the bottom of their hand. So we're going to place it down over there. And then we are going to draw a card. So this one is Goblin Mob. Draw a card, join a Goblin Mob. So first for the action, they're going to draw a card, place it over here, and then join a Goblin Mob. Now, normally for these mobs, it's really bad because they're going to be able to mob up and then only lose 1 unit, and sometimes not even any of them, as you saw with that card that was in play. So these mobs are going to be able to attack and save some units over for them for the future turns. But where there currently is not a mob in play, it's actually worse for us, where we're going to draw the top 4 cards and place any of the goblins into play that would create that mob for us. So we're going to take a look over here at that, but we're going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see, because I think we actually might not have anything that would form a mob, which is really interesting. This is join a goblin mob, and the only goblin cards that we drew are actually events, so that's very interesting. Now, I believe this goblin needs a mob to join, so I am going to put these on the bottom of the deck. That's what you would do with any cards that would not join the mob anyway. And then I'm going to drop 4 more and see if we're able to create a mob for them now. So here we do have a goblin mob. Great. So we are going to add this over here for them to join together as a mob, and then these are going to go to the bottom of our solo deck. So that's all going to happen here. Now, the one thing that is good for us in this instance is that it is not going to activate the ability twice. So the Goblin Mob has an ability that is, if you have 5 units or less in play, play an additional card this turn. If possible, this unit is not destroyed after attacking another unit. So it is, they are going to form this mob here for us, but the good thing about that is it is at least only going to play 1 additional card and not 2. So we will have it play that card now, and this is going to be Plague Lord. So this is going to be from the rats, not the goblins. And it's going to have an ability that you're able to use to restore 1 health. For each card in your hand, search your deck for the uppermost shield unit and deploy it. And then each time a Ratman is destroyed, return it to your deck instead of your graveyard. So that is absolutely crazy for us to deal with. And another thing now for us to know is when there are multiple units in play for the AI solo mode, you are going to have them go in order. So you're going to place them on the rightmost side, meaning that just if anything would target that order, this is the order that it would go in. So now that we are able to use this ability, we are going to do this to restore that 1 health. They're now at 38. Oh, sorry, it's 1 for each card in their hand, so it actually would have been 4. So they're actually just going to go right back up to 40 on us. So we'll put them over here. And then the rest of it is search your deck for the uppermost shield unit. So we will do that and look for a unit that they're going to be able to also put into play. So they have just a ton of people. Here we go. So it's going to be the Fumigator. And it is deploy it, so I believe they're going to use their ability as well. So this one is deal 3 damage. If this card is dealt damage and you have 3 or more cards in your hand, return this card to your hand. So that is going to be very tough for us as well. And now all of these units are in play and they're going to deal 3 damage. Now, when they're dealing damage, we are able to use this target priority here. So you can see that it all depends on the Automa's health as well as the player's health. So it's set to this side right now because we're currently at 30 and they are at greater than 50%. So this is what they're going to choose to target, meaning that this card is going to deal the 3 damage over here to our Aeromancer before they are going to perform their attack. So thankfully their turn is done at least, but now this Goblin mob is going to attack us. And this unit is not destroyed after attacking another unit. Oh, so that's great because they're actually attacking our Nexus. So these two are going to attack for 2 damage. So we are going to take that 2 now. We're now at 28. And because it is actually attacking our Nexus and not another unit, the mob is going to lose 1. So one of these cards will stay in play, but one of the mob will be discarded and lost over here to the graveyard. Okay, now it is on to our turn, and we're going to start off with drawing a card. And I really feel that we must do damage, but we actually have Purification, Purify 2, Restore 2, and we're able to play another card after that. So I feel like we should just start off with that. So we will play Purification. So we will restore the 2 back, so we're back to full health, and we're going to Purify 2. So this one will go to the discard. Unfortunately, it is an Arcane Blast, and then this one as well, and this one is one for Purified. So Purified, deploy this card. And then when it's deployed, look at and rearrange the top 3 cards of your deck. This card may ignore shield units. So that's actually pretty great for us. So this is going to go here. And we're going to look at and rearrange the top 3 cards of our deck. So now we're going to know what we're able to purify. This is when purified. Okay, so I think I will have us put this one on top and then leave the fireball down. Actually, we should draw the fireball. Yeah, we'll do that, and we will put fireball on top to draw for next turn. Okay, so we will put all of that there, and now we... so we played this, which allowed us to deploy this with its purified ability. So we do still get to play another card. So let's see what we want to do, but I think we need to be doing some damage, because if we're able to take this guy out, that's going to really help us. So let's see. We are able to purify twice with this card as well. And actually, we know what we put on top. So maybe that's better. Each time you purify a card, deal 1 damage to the opponent's Nexus. I feel like maybe we should put our Archangel into play. But this will also purify 1 when we put it into play. Okay, we're getting a little lost in the sauce here. Let's play our Radiant Avenger. And they are going to purify 1 when they are put into play. Oh, but we put our fireball on top. And we're going to stick to what we did. We're just going to leave it there. So if that's the case, oh gosh. Okay, if that's the case, we're going to play a little defensive instead. So we'll play Sentinels of Light, which is draw a card. And then if this card is destroyed, purify 2. So that's going to happen, and now we do have that deal 5 damage with trample, but we are going to have to wait a turn because we did not think that through as good as we could have. But with that, we are now going to be able to go through and attack, and oh, unfortunately, we are not able to attack for enough over here. Although they are able to ignore shield units. So, ooh, we are able to ignore shield units, which means we are able to attack the Nexus directly. And I feel like that is our best bet with everything that we currently have available. So we are going to choose to do that. We are going to attack with our Redeemers to their Nexus directly, although they are going to heal 1. You know, it is what it is. We're going to have to try to get them next turn, but we will put that that to 38 for now. I mean, they are going to heal, but at least it's using that action on them. I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's what's going to happen there. This is going to go over to our graveyard, and this is going to be here now as a shield for us, though, so that's pretty good. So now we'll go on to the solo mode's turn. They're going to draw a card first and place it over here. And then they're going to, I believe, first use their abilities before playing cards. So we're going to have them use this ability here where they're going to restore 1 for each card in their hand and then put out a shield. So we will do this. We'll have them go back up to 40, my goodness. And we will have them put out a shield character. There we go, the prisoner camp. So we do want to keep these in order. Alright, so I will shuffle that top card back in. Put this to over here. Prisoner camp. And this one has an ability that it's able to use. Take the top X cards from your opponent's deck and place them in their graveyard. X equals the number of units in mobs. So take the top X cards from your opponent's deck and place them in their graveyard. So that's going to happen at least just once because of this goblin mob. So that's going to happen, and flip this over here. Unfortunately, this does not trigger our purified ability, but it does have that this card is destroyed, purified too. So that's really great for us. Oh, but unfortunately, I think that's discarding it and not destroying it. I think it needs to take damage. So this one will be able to purify too, but this one is not able to purify. So they just did that to us, which means we also want to take this out, and we will do this. But luckily, there's not too many mobs out yet, so at least we have that. But now we are going to go forward and actually play a card because they have not played a card yet. So looking at their hand here, they have a hand of 5 still, and they're going to play their top card, which is Drummers. So this is for the Ratmen. They have an action, draw 1 card, and restore 1 for each Ratman you have in play. Well, they're at full health, so... but then you're able to use the ability to activate the leftmost deploy ability from your battlefield line, except this card. Then place the activated card at the end of your battlefield line. Okay, so this is going to go into play. This is the rest of their hand. They're not going to need that, at least for the rest of this turn. But they're going to draw 1 card and restore 1. So we're not going to restore, but they are going to draw a card over here. So they have even more cards. And then activate the leftmost ability from the battlefield, then place it over here. So we're going to flip this, and then this is going to be draw 1 card, join a goblin mob. So this is going to go over to here at least, and we're going to draw another card for them. And then they're going to join a mob. But again, we don't have a mob for them to join, so we're going to look at the top 4. And let's see. So there is a hobgoblin mob, but I believe that is not the correct type of mob for them to join. So these are all going to go to the bottom, and we're going to draw 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness. All the goblins are coming out. So there are not any here. So I'm going to have us continue that again. Again, I'm not positive if we're supposed to continue it, but the rules are when they need to join a mob, if there isn't a mob for them, you draw through the top 4. So here are 2 more. So those are going to be able to add over here to that mob, making it quite scary. But I still have faith in us. We have a lot of powerful stuff coming up. So this is now the current order that they are all in. And they have this big scary mob, and at the end of their turn, they are going to attack with it. So they are attacking my Sentinel, meaning that a unit is not destroyed when attacking, and they are attacking for 3 because there were 3 of them there. So they're going to be able to deal that total of 3 damage. So this is going to be taken out, but we are going to get to purify it too. So hopefully we have Celestial cards coming here. Or we know that we do, actually. This still hasn't happened yet. So purified. Activate the deploy ability of this card, and it's going to be look at and rearrange the top 5 cards of your deck. Wow. So we're going to get to look at and rearrange the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before purifying again. So we know that we're going to purify and then draw. So add this card to your hand, look at and rearrange the top 3. Okay. Purified, deal 1 damage to the opponent's Nexus. Purify, deploy this card. I feel like that's our best bet. Okay, so I think we'll do that. Yes. And then what to have after that? If you play an event, you may return to your deck. Okay, I believe we're going to do this. Exactly in this order. Play this here. have this one be the next one to be purified, which is going to deploy it. And then his deployability is look at and rearrange the top 3 cards of your deck. This card can ignore shield units. I would, but we just did it, so we're not going to look at and rearrange anything. And that was the end of their turn, so it's actually now on to our turn. So here is our hand again, and we are going to draw a card. And let's see, so we're definitely going to want to play this, which is deal 2 damage and draw a card, because it's going to allow us to play another card as well. So we will draw and we will deal that 2 damage. Now, I think that we should definitely do the 2 damage over here to the drummers, because there are some shields here that we are going to have to deal with. These would actually be ready now. We are going to have to deal with a lot of shields, so I'm going to have us take out these drummers with that 2 damage, and we drew a card, and now we're going to be able to play something else. So I will have us play this one now, because it's going to allow us to play another card. So we will play him, and this one is draw a card. And then we have a reaction ability, which you haven't really seen yet, but this one is, if you play an event, you may return it to your deck. So that's going to be some of these cards that are here, for example, Fireball. So that is pretty good. Honestly, returning our Fireball is a pretty good idea, but we are able to continue our chain and play Heavenly Gates. So we are able to play this, look at and rearrange the top 3 cards of our deck. I don't see why not, because then after that, it's going to allow us to purify 1. So we will put this into play, look at and rearrange the top 3 cards of our deck, knowing that we're going to be able to purify. And I feel like we got to take this adventure. Yeah, we got to just start coming in strong. So yeah, these ones can actually attack red units, which is great. I haven't shown you that yet, but first you have to start with these shield ones. Then after that, your options are to either attack the opponent's Nexus or their support cards. But these ones are able to attack those, but I'm going to put them both here. So we will stack this like this, and then we're going to use this ability here to purify 1. So we will do this purify, which is going to be adding this to the discard, but because it has the purified ability, deploy this card. And when we deploy it, we're able to purify 1. So we're going to do this card as well. And when this one is purified, deal 1 damage to the opponent's Nexus. And that's it, because we are not summoning this one. So we're going to do that to deal 1 damage to the Nexus, which hopefully is going to feel a little bit more worth it after doing damage to a bunch of these units. So all of that is going to happen, and I know it seems like we did a lot of cards, but we actually get to play 1 more, because this one was summoned from purifying, so we have 1 more play available to us. Now, here we have a Arcane Mage that we could put into play. Draw a card. If this card hits the opponent's Nexus, deal 2 damage divided. You choose. We're able to play this one, which would purify, again, similar to our other one. This one, which would, again, purify, but be an Avenger in play. But this one can deal 5 damage with Trample, meaning that that excess damage is able to spill over to the Nexus. And I think that's currently our best bet, because with this event, we're able to return it to our deck as well. So I am going to have us play this, which is 5 damage and Trample. I'm going to deal 4 damage to the Prisoner Camp, and then 1 damage over to the Nexus. So we will do all of that, and then I am going to use this to return it to the deck. So we will shuffle that in, and then we'll go on to our attack phase. So we currently have 2 attackers available to us for 3 damage and 2 damage. We took out the camp, which is great. So we will have this Radiant Avenger attack this Fumigator here, but this one is, if this card is dealt damage and you have 3 or more cards in your hand, return this card to your hand. So unfortunately, that's going to happen, and this is going to get tucked over here, but luckily it's not going to get played, hopefully, for a while, and this one is going to be lost for us. But then we are able to attack with this too. So unfortunately, again, it's just not enough to take out this Plague Lord, so we are going to want to make sure that we do that soon. He actually has this ability, each time a Ratman is destroyed, return it to your deck instead of your graveyard. So these drummers are actually going to be returned to the deck instead of the graveyard. Ooh, I just gave them way too much health. Now it's 58. So we'll take that down over there. So yeah, we gotta make sure that this is also the one that's healing them. So we gotta make sure we take out some of this stuff, because we're kind of in trouble against this mob, but we're starting to get a little bit more going. So all of that is going to happen. We're going to have him attack and do 2 damage over here. Again, it's going to be healed, but hey, at least we're trying. So that's going to happen. And then this is going to flip back up over there. So that's where we're going to leave our turn, and now we'll move over to the enemy's turn. Alright, so now we are going to have them draw a card and place it over here. Now, you do have a hand limit of 10, so they are getting a little bit close to that hand limit, but not quite yet. And then they're going to play their first card. So this is going to be Mob Leader, deal 2 damage. This card joins the mob with the lowest combined power value. If there is no mob in play, return this card to your hand. After the mob that includes this card attacks, return this card to your hand instead of destroying a unit from that mob. Brutal. So they are going to first come into play and deal that 2 damage, and they're going to deal it over here to one of these, so it doesn't really matter because they're going to be attacked as well, so we will have this be destroyed. And then they're going to have the mob attack. So based on this chart here, again, based on everyone's health. Oh, sorry, and I'm so sorry. This Plague Lord would have healed. So this one is going to have them heal for this much, meaning that they are going to just go back up to that 40. It's been pretty hard to touch them so far, but they're also going to put another shield unit into play. So we will search for that, but hopefully they're in their discard pile, because that would be great for us. So, oh, they do have one. So here's another Fumigator that's going to be put into play. And then they will activate that. So that one is going to deal 3 damage as well, which is going to take out our Heavenly Gates. So there you go. That's already going to happen against us. So now the mob is actually going to attack our Nexus directly. So it's going to be attacking for 5, and then the mob leader is going to go back into their hand. So it's going to be a whole 5 damage off of us, a huge chunk of our health. And then after the mob that includes this card attacks, return this to your hand instead of destroying a unit from that mob. So this is going to go back into the hand over here. And that is going to be their turn. Now, they currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, but they are getting pretty close to that hand limit. I'm going to put this over here, flip this up, and now it is going to be our turn. Let's see what we're able to do. So we will draw a card, and we are able to purify, which I feel like is going to be what we're going to want to chain into. So first we are going to, and I just said it, chain, but we're going to chain lightning. So with this, we're going to be able to deal 3 damage divided as we choose, and we are going to take out this Plague Lord. We have needed to do it this entire time, so we are going to deal that 3 damage here and take him out. So each time a Ratman is destroyed, return it to your deck instead of your graveyard, but this one is going to be taken out, so I don't believe that's going to apply. I believe taking him out is actually going to stop that ability from triggering. So now they currently have these units in play. Lucky for us, we were able to play that event, and now we were able to play an additional card as well. So with this one, we would be able to purify as well as deal 3 damage. So I feel like that's a good choice for us. However, with this Archangel, we could actually purify twice. So I feel like that's what we should do. So we will play the Archangel, and we're going to purify, and it has an ability, each time you purify a card, deal 1 damage to the opponent's Nexus. So again, we're going to start pinging it, but finally it lost that heal card. Hopefully it doesn't gain something similar to that soon. But they're currently at 39 for that. We're going to purify 1. And unfortunately, that is not going to help us, but we're going to be able to activate this to purify a second time. So we're going to deal another damage over here. And we're going to discard another card. And unfortunately, again, it's our Pyromancer. That does not help us in that instance. I thought it was going to help us get some cards into play. But unfortunately, it did not. And I think that may have been a choice that really got us into a tricky situation. So we will end our turn and see what we're able to do. But on the enemy's turn, they're going to draw a card. They're currently at 9, and then they're going to play one, and this is going to allow them to play additional cards. So this is Night Hunter. This card is not destroyed after attacking, and then it has an ability, if your opponent plays a unit, that unit is placed immediately in the graveyard before resolving any effect, unless they discard a card from their hand. So we will have to pay that to keep our cards, and it is a 1/1. So, After that, they're going to be able to play another card, so they're going to put this into play as well. Now they're going to be able to start playing quite a few cards. I think we might be in trouble, you guys. So now this is Cure All Potion, Restore 2 health. If you have 20 cards or less in your graveyard, return this card to your deck. Well, there's definitely 20 cards or less. 20 cards or less in your graveyard, yes. So this will go back to the deck after healing 2. So they are back up to that 40 again on us. Unfortunately, this is going to get returned to the deck, and they can still play another card. So they're going to play this card here, Scavenger. It's a Ratman. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Place all Ratman on top of your deck in random order, and place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck. After this card is destroyed, place the bottom unit from the graveyard on top of your deck. So that's going to have us potentially see a lot more Ratman pretty soon. Let's see, these are the top 5 cards. So here we have Ratman, and these are Goblins. So the Goblins are going to be put at the bottom of the deck, which is pretty good for us as far as the mobs are concerned. And then these ones are going to be randomly put on the top of the deck. All right. And that is that. But after this card is destroyed, something is going to happen. Now, after all that, that's that. But now dangerous things are going to be happening. I think we can come back from this, but unfortunately we're just losing all of our cool stuff along the way because we can't keep anything out. So this goblin mob now is going to start attacking. So we luckily are still at that high enough threshold. Well, I don't think it's lucky, but we do have this. So they're going to be attacking our Archangel before attacking our Nexus. And first, they're going to be able to attack with the 3 as well as the 1. So that is definitely going to take this out, but this one is not destroyed after attacking, and this unit is not destroyed after attacking another unit. So all of these cards are actually going to get to stay in play, but my Archangel is going to be destroyed. That just did save us some health on our Nexus, but unfortunately, that is gone. So now we're going to start off our turn. We're going to draw a card. Return 1 event from your graveyard to your hand. So that could be very good for us, actually. This one would just have us purify 1, and this one is draw 1 card. If this card hits the opponent's Nexus, and there's no way it's going to anytime soon. So I think our best bet... this is so tricky because this one could return an event, but we're not going to be able to use it yet. So I think we need to go a little bit more on the offensive. So we're going to play our Radiant Avenger, and their ability is Purify 1. So we will purify this. And unfortunately it is still, it's just another one of our wizard cards. So, but at least he is in play now. So now this is going to be able to fend off against the Fumigator. We could have it fight the Scavenger, but I think it's better for us to fight the Fumigator, even though, if this card is dealt damage, if this card is dealt damage and you have 3 or more cards in your hand, return this to your hand. Yeah, so unfortunately it is going to go back to their hand, which is rough for us, but that is what we're going to have to do with our Radiant Avenger. Okay, and with that, I will have us go on to the enemy's turn and see how bad this is for us. So they are going to draw a card, place it over here. At least they have fewer cards in their hand now. And then they're going to play this card, No Fail Plan. Resolve the following effects in order if you have the required number of mobs in play. So they currently have 1 mob in play. They're going to draw 2 cards and shuffle your hand. So they're going to draw 2 cards, and then the hand order is going to change for this. So we're going to shuffle it up, and then that is going to be that. So it's not the worst for us, but this is now going to have those Fumigators potentially be put to the top of the enemy's hand. So they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they have 9 cards out. This card was used, and now they're going to attack. And again, this one is not destroyed after attacking. This one is not destroyed after attacking another unit. So luckily, at least one of these goblins from the mob is going to leave, but we're going to take a total of 4 damage. So we're now at 21, and one of these goblins is going to leave. So just one, not too bad, but we still took a ton of damage there. And forgive me, not that I should make this even harder for us. I mean, it's how it should be, but this Night Hunter has the ability that if your opponent plays a unit, the opponent has to discard a card to keep it from going from the graveyard. So we actually did play this Radiant Avenger, so we do need to have discarded something to have kept them. So we'll have discarded this Archmage because we already decided we can't really play defensively anyway. Even though grabbing that event could be really good, I think playing defensively just is not the way to go. Maybe, fine. Fine, we'll hold on to it. We'll get rid of the Arcane Mage because I do think this is really good. Okay, so now going on to our turn, we are going to draw. And we have Fireball again, so that is pretty good for us. So we could either choose to Fireball, which would have that trample, or we can return an event. So I think this may be the time where we choose to return that event. Although, if we play this because of this card, oh, this Night Hunter I feel like has to get taken out. I feel like everything has to be taken out, but I feel like that really does have to. So I guess we're going to, unfortunately, play our Fireball. Why not? So we're going to deal 5 damage over here. So it's going to deal the 1. And then it's going to spill over. I believe it's actually going to have to be 2 damage. I'm not sure in this instance if we have to deal 1 damage or 2 damage. I believe it will be 2. So we will do that damage and have the 3 residual trample over here. So they are now at 37. And that is that. So we played this. We took this guy out because we absolutely had to. And that is that for our entire turn. So now it's going to go on to the enemy's turn. They're going to draw a card and then start playing some of these cards. Okay, so there's those Fumigators we were worried about. They're going to deal 3 damage, and we are the only target now. So we're at 21. We're going to go down to 18. Things are starting to look a little bit scary for us. If only I could find that. There we go. We're now at 18. He's now in play, but luckily they're at least not triggering anything additional after that. So, okay, so that's great. So now the Goblin Mob is going to attack, and again, they're attacking us, so they're at least losing another one. So they're going to deal 2 damage to us, but then lose 1 of their Goblins. So we are now at 16. So we'll place that over there and go on to our turn. So as you can see, the pacing is really changing depending on what's happening. As you can see, we're kind of slowing down because we are really just not able to keep up with this yet. So we will draw a card. This one, we're able to deal 3 damage divided as you choose. So if we did that with a Fumigator, it would just go back to their hand, but I feel like that's okay. And then we would be able to take out both of these. So I feel like that's a really good choice for us. So we're going to play this and deal 3 damage divided as you choose. So you'll deal 3 damage over here. If this card is dealt damage and you have 3 or more cards, then return it to your hand. So that's going to go over to here. And that's going to resolve, but then we're going to be able to attack over here as well. So we will attack with our Electromancer, and after this card is destroyed, place the bottom unit of your graveyard on top of your deck. So the bottom unit from our graveyard is going to be this Shaman here. We'll place them on top of the deck, and this guy is destroyed. So at least we were able to do that, and now all of this is going to be placed out as it is. We have 1 card currently, but you know, we're trying, we're hanging in there. So now we're going to go on to the enemy's turn, and let's see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they actually have 10 cards. Alright, so now luckily if they do end up with any extra cards in their hand, they will be burning some, so we are able to do that, but we're going to have them put a card into play. So here we have the Mad Raiders. Return 1 opponent's unit in play to their deck. Luckily we don't have any in play anyway, and they're able to draw 2 cards and shuffle your hand. At the end of your turn, return any excess cards from your hand to your deck instead of burning them. Speak of the devil. Deal damage equal to twice the number of cards returned this way. Oh, great. So that's another thing that we're definitely going to want to take out. So they're going to now draw... Oh, no, they're going to draw 2 cards. I shouldn't have looked... Well, it's fine. But they will draw 2 cards, shuffle their hand, And then they are going to deal that damage to us. So they are going to have some extra cards. So first, before that, would be the attack phase. So the goblin mob is going to attack us and luckily go away because they are attacking us. So this one is going to deal 1 damage to us and then go over here. We are now at 15. And that does mean that once other things are put into play, this priority is actually going to change a little bit. But we are always able to take damage. So that is going to be that. And this is going to be their hand. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they're going to take 1 card that's going to go back into their deck. And we are going to take 2 damage, I believe. At the end of your turn, return Nexus. Yeah, so we're going to take 2 damage because of that. So we'll go down to 13 after the raiders attacked us as well. Okay, so we are now at 13. And yeah, that is that. So we are now going to go on to our turn. We have this 1 card here, the Archmage. So we're able to return an event from our graveyard to our hand still, and this might be a good time to do it, but first we will draw a card, and it's another Fireball. So it does have Trample. It would get rid of those raiders. I feel like that's a good call because they're going to be drawing these 2 cards every turn. So unfortunately, this Archmage is just going to continue to wait to be helpful for us, but we will use our Fireball. We'll deal 5 damage, which is going to do 2 over here, bringing them down to 35. So things are at least feeling a little bit more on even footing that we might be able to make it out. So we're at 13, they're at 35, and now it's going to be their turn, and I believe they have the 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, they are going to draw a card, but they have 10. And then they're going to play this, which is going to help them play a few cards. So let's see what's going to happen here. But it's going to be draw 2 cards, activate the 2 leftmost abilities on the battlefield line. So there's the 2 cards. Now, luckily, we're not going to be taking damage from this. These will actually be burned. And then if only 1 card is activated in this way, deal 2 damage to the opponent's Nexus. If none are activated, deal 4 damage instead. So they are going to deal 4 damage to us, bringing us down to 9. But that is that, and then they're going to be able to play an additional card because that has the yellow square there. So now we have a Rat Ogre. Search your deck for the uppermost unit and deploy it. Draw 1 card. Okay. Okay, so we're going to deploy them. Draw 1 card. Okay. This unit cannot attack support units with value 3 or less. Okay, well, we're not a support unit. And then we have Rescue Squad here. Deal 3 damage and shuffle your hand. So they are going to deal that. This will do this. They're going to deal 3 damage, bringing us down to 6. Shuffle your hand. Each time one of your support or defense units would be destroyed, return a unit from a mob to your hand instead. Well, luckily, there are no mobs out at least, but that's going to happen. And then I'm just going to hold this because they are going to be discarding some cards, but first it will be the attack phase. So this Rat Ogre is going to do 4 damage to us, bringing us down to 2. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to come back from this, but we are certainly going to try. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're going to be discarding 2 cards and burning them, which is great for us. One of them is a Fumigator, one of them is a mob, so that's really good, but they do still have 10 cards. But that is going to be their turn over there. And with our 2 health, let's see what we are able to do. So we have Divine Ascension. Purified, add this card to your hand. Return up to 2 units from your graveyard to your deck. Draw 1 card. So sure, let's try to do that. We're going to take 2 units from our graveyard to our deck. And let's see. We're going to want ones that we're able to play multiple units. So here's one, and they're actually going to be defensive, which is good. Oh goodness, I'm so scared. Draw 1 card. Oh, he was also pretty good. So we like him. Deal 2 damage and draw a card. Okay, but that's an event. So we don't want that. Let's see. That's also an event. Yeah, so I think the 2 that we picked are the best, although we never got to use this one, the Celestial Griffin. But I'm afraid for us to continue purifying. So I'm going to have us take Arcane Library as well as Aeromancer. I'm going to have us take both of those, and we're going to be able to put both of them into play because this is that type of card and so are these. So they're kind of able to chain into each other, and then additionally we're going to be able to draw a card. So these are the cards we have, but first let's take a look. So we have this. When we put this one into play, we're also able to draw a card. We don't have many cards left though, and this one is we can exhaust one unit in play. So we will choose to exhaust this Rat Ogre so that they won't ready on their next turn. And then we have one more card that we are able to play. So we can return that event. Maybe we should do that now. Or we could... Let's do this. We'll play our Pyromancer as well. So this one is, we're going to be able to do 2 damage to the opponent's Nexus. So we'll do 2 damage over here, bringing them down to 33. And then we're able to activate this as well to deal a damage over here. So we're going to be able to get rid of this and put it over here before its ability was able to take play for us, which is great. But that is going to be our whole turn. That's everything that we were able to do, and we don't have any attackers either. So we aren't able to attack with any of these guys either. Alright, so that's going to be that for us, and now we're going to go on to the enemy's phase. They do luckily have this one exhausted, but I'm not sure if that's going to be able to help us. So they're going to play this, restore 3 health, so they're going to go up to 36, must be nice. If you have 4 more cards in your deck, which they do, they have exactly 4, return this to your deck. Oh my gosh. So they're going to be able to return that card to their deck, and they're able to play an additional card with the type of card that was. So they're going to play this card here, and oh my goodness, oh, we are able to protect. So let's see what happens. So this is going to deal 2 damage. Oh. The ability deals 2 damage to the opponent's Nexus, which is me, which is us. So this here is it when it comes into play, when it's summoned to deal 2 damage to the opponent's Nexus. That's us over here. So even though this is a shield type unit and could protect us there, this ability, Sharpshooter, they sharp shot us and sniped us out. So don't let this be a showing for you guys of how well I am at card games, because this solo mode is pretty tough. Now, if you think this wasn't hard enough, you can actually make it even harder by increasing the amount of the Nexus that you need to attack, as well as having the actions be random as opposed to that stacked order and knowing what cards are going to be coming out. So there are a whole bunch of different things they were able to add to the game to make it even harder if you thought this was just too easy for me. Now, there are also a whole bunch of other factions that you're able to play as, so when you match them up together, you can find a lot of synergy depending on the ones that you choose to play as and what ones might work really well together. So this has been a solo playthrough of Nexus. Thank you all for watching the Board Game Code channel. I've been Professor Meg. You can check out the link down below for the Pledge Manager for everything if you'd like to see more for Nexus, either for a 1v1 game with your friends or the solo mode as well, and I will see you all next time. Bye!